Today is Menstrual Hygiene Day, an annual awareness day to highlight the importance of good menstrual hygiene management. It was initiated by the German-based NGO WASH United in 2014 and aims to benefit women and girls worldwide. To help us discuss the importance of menstrual hygiene in the face of COVID-19 is Valentine Samoe. She is a menstrual hygiene management expert and also a programs manager at Huru International. Good afternoon, Valentine. Thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with talking about this day, what it means, and also if you could highlight the 2020 theme for us, Valentine.
So thank you so much, Grace, for inviting me here. So today we are celebrating Menstrual Hygiene Day, and it's celebrating the milestones we've come as women, celebrating, because menstruation is something that happens to every girl, and it is normal, a natural process. So it's high time we celebrate Menstrual Hygiene Day and bring all the girls together and the women together and tell them this is something normal and we are taking action. The theme for this year is taking action. Okay,
yeah. 28/5, today is the 28th day of the month of May, which is 05. Yeah. So is it by coincidence, or is there a special connotation to 28 and 5, Valentine?
Not really. Like, I think when they brought Menstrual Hygiene Day and just the 28th day of a cycle. So I think, and most women, the average days of a cycle is 28 days. Yeah.
Indeed, you're right on that. Okay, let's talk about the stigma and taboos associated with, menstrual hygiene. Even, before we even address what ladies are experiencing now, as we experience, lockdowns in various nations. Let's talk about the taboos and the stigma that is associated with menstrual hygiene.
Yeah. There's so much stigma and taboos surrounding menstruation and menstrual hygiene. Because remember, in our African culture, we don't actually talk about menstruation because we were thought it's a taboo. It is something, we have those people who say it is a curse for women and all that. So there's so much stigma surrounding menstruation, and no one has been talking about menstruation. So, menstruation is something natural that happens to each and every girl. So it shouldn't be something that it's a curse. There are those who say when you're having your periods, you're not supposed to cook for the household, you're not supposed to eat certain food, you're not supposed to go to the farm and maybe pluck vegetables and all that. But I think these are just because actually people didn't understand what menstruation is all about. That's why we have all these taboos and stigma surrounding menstruation. And because we don't talk about it, that's why so many people don't have the real information about menstruation.
How bad is it now, now that we either have lockdowns in various countries or people are being urged to stay home, work from home. So you have to be home. You have to be with those people who probably don't like, being associated with a woman when it's during that time of the month. So how bad is it now?
Okay, with the lockdowns, especially with the most vulnerable girls, who they are forced to stay at home, they are not in school. We have some of them, maybe their parents have lost jobs, they're not able to purchase sanitary pads and all that. So it is so difficult for girls even to manage their periods, even to get 50 shillings to buy sanitary pads. It's becoming a problem. And now the priority for most parents, from when we've talked to girls recently, and the priority for most parents is buying food. So it's not sanitary pads. So you find that it's actually a challenge for most girls right now. And now you find that most girls, when they were in school, the government was providing the sanitary pads for them. But now that they are at home, some of them actually don't have anything to use. So they revert to using maybe unhygienic methods for managing their periods.
Indeed, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I was about to ask about that. But allow me to, remain at that, because now what would be your clarion call? Now that you said it, there are girls who depended on, being in school, at school, to be able to access the sanitary towels. But now that is no longer the case. So what would be your call for action?
Maybe I can just talk what we've done at this particular moment as Huru International. What we've done towards the end of last year, we developed an app with information on menstrual hygiene management, sexual reproductive health issues, and life skills education. And we were on the final stage of validation and finishing up the app. So it has come in handy right now because we got calls from our different partners on the ground, different parts of the country, asking us how can we help these girls who are at home right now. And you find that these girls actually, they are putting themselves at risk to even get sanitary pads. So what we did, the app has really come in handy. The girls, we've partnered with community leaders on the ground, the chiefs, the MCAs and all that, especially in Western Kenya, to make sure to identify some of these girls who are going through these challenges. And they sign up into the app. After we get them, we now also partnered with a courier company because we are under lockdown and the sanitary pads are here in Nairobi, who has helped us to transport the kits to different parts of the country. We've partnered with Fago Courier, who have now helped us to take the pads to different parts of the country. We've given over 2,000 girls sanitary pads here in Nairobi, especially Mukuru slums of Nairobi, and in Western Kenya, that is Vihiga, Kakamega, Siaya, and Bungoma. So that is what we are doing right now. And the app actually helps the girls to go through the different sessions. What is menstruation? Because you find that there are girls they're having their periods, but they actually don't understand what periods are. So they go through the sessions on how to use sanitary pads, sessions on life skills, decision making, and all that. So that is what we've been doing right now, and it has really, really come in handy.
Okay. Now, the commemoration of this day, you know, which was initiated by WASH United in 2015, with that background, let's talk about some of the milestones made and, of course, the challenges to which some you have mentioned from 2014 to today, 2020. What are some of the milestones that have been made and, of course, the challenges?
I think one of the milestones that we've made, discriminations and things to do with myths and misconceptions has really gone down. And it has also helped us to bring in men to be allies in talking about menstruation. Like previously, even you couldn't talk about menstruation in a meeting. But you see now, with talking about menstruation, breaking the silence on menstruation, I think we've made strides towards the right direction, just bringing in everyone, because you find that when a girl actually is missing school, when a girl actually doesn't have something to use to manage her periods, it affects the whole community. So when we bring in the whole community and break the silence on menstruation, and we say that menstruation matters, actually it helps to break the stigma, to demystify the myths and misconceptions.
How about the challenges?
Okay, of course, we still have challenges bringing in together different stakeholders to come and talk about periods, and also talking about products. You know, sometimes we just talk about maybe menstruation, but also we have products. We have to talk about products. We have to talk about products and the information. I can give a girl a product, but now they don't have the information. So we still have to bring everything together, every stakeholder together, so that we can talk about all the issues. And also just bringing men also, like talking to men about menstruation. This is not just an issue for women. It affects everyone. So bringing in men also to talk about menstruation. Also, those are some of the challenges. But I think as people talk about it, as we talk about menstruation as something very normal to every girl, I think we will be able to have solutions to these challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned products, and I'm curious, just allow me to ask how you deal with certain issues that people present. Case in point, last year, there were some ladies who had issues with a particular brand, which of course we're not going to mention. But when such complaints arise, what are some of the steps that you take, or how do you deal with such situations?
So what we've done, because for us we do reusable sanitary pads where girls are able to wash. The most important thing when you're giving a product is to also train the girls on the type of products you are giving them. Are you giving them disposable, you are giving them reusable? You talk to them about how to take care of the product and how to use the product. I think with that, it will be easier even for girls to use the products they are comfortable with. And also, when it comes to products, you give women choices. Women are supposed to choose what actually fits them. So as even product manufacturers and all that, it's always good to give women choices of what products do they really want to use. And the most important thing is to teach women, especially young girls, on how to use these products. Every product should have like a user instruction in it where girls can actually read and reread about how to use that product that you're providing for them.
Indeed. As we conclude, Valentine, let me just take you back to where we are right now, you know, the whole lockdown and everything. Let's talk about some challenges, because currently, by the way, as we speak, there are some estates in Nairobi that don't have water, and I'm sure it's not just Nairobi. So we're supposed to observe, you know, cleanliness. We're being told to wash our hands, and then there's also the menstrual hygiene. But these challenges of water shortage, you know, the people that live in informal settlements, if you could take us through that, you know, let's look at it at that angle.
So, you know, when COVID came, periods did not stop. So somehow, we still have to look for ways on how to manage our periods. So even with the little water you get, it is always important, because of course if you don't also adhere to hygiene, especially now when you are having your periods, there's a possibility of even getting infections and all that. So it is just important to tell women, even if you have challenges with water and all that, and we are also talking with our leaders, the community leaders, just also to help these girls so that they are able to observe hygiene, to wash their hands and all that. And also those who are using reusable sanitary pads, they are able to get some water to wash. Yeah.
Okay. As you give us your closing remarks, Valentine, talk to us about how one can participate in, you know, celebrating this day now that everything is being done virtually.
So I think one of the things that all of us can do, men, women, young girls, you create awareness on menstruation. When COVID came, menstruation did not stop. So it's good for us to talk about menstruation, create awareness. Either you are a man, a woman, a girl, talk about it. Like it's a normal, the way you'll be talking about food, baking and all that. Let's talk about menstruation as something that is normal, and encourage girls and tell them, like, every girl goes through this. So it is normal. It is a biological process that happens to each and every woman. So it's like we tell them, let's celebrate our womanhood. Yeah.
Indeed, let's celebrate our womanhood. Great place to end it. Thank you, Valentine Samoy, for joining us this afternoon. She is a menstrual hygiene management expert and also a programs manager at Huru International. Once again, Valentine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So we're taking a break here on Bottomline Africa, but stay with us. We still have lots more after the break, even as we now leave you with Destination